Off we go. So today we're headed down to Rockport Harbor and we're going to be working on some tips for using the 55 to 200. This lens has seen a lot of action on my YouTube channel. Lots of people looking at the videos that I've done on it. And quite honestly, there's a lot of things that you need to know about using a telephoto zoom. So we're going to work on those in this episode. Now, here we go. Got some great tips for you this morning on how to use the 55 to 200 to its fullest extent. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is go over some tips on how to hold the camera correctly so that you get nice sharp shots. First thing is you want to make sure that you're holding the camera underneath like this with your hand. Not like this, never like this, never like this. Your elbow's out here flopping in the breeze. You can't do anything like this. You can't do this. You got to get your elbow right up to your rib cage and down to your belt line like this. Put the camera underneath it like this. This is the only stable platform you can use when you're shooting like this. Tip number 2 is to make sure that you keep your OIS on. So with this, you can do so many more things with a stable platform. Okay, let's go over some ground rules here. Tip number 3, and that is that there's rules that go with hand holding your telephoto zoom lens. And the biggest one is that you want to make sure that you're using shutter speed that is equivalent to the full frame equivalent of this lens. So let's say you're all the way out at 200. This is an equivalent in full frame terms of a 300. So you want to be shooting at a 300th of a second. The best thing about this though is that with OIS on, you can cut these in half. So let's say you're all the way out at 300 like this, 300 full frame equivalent, supposed to be shooting at a 300th of a second, you can cut that in half to 1/50th of a second. Pretty great, and the OIS in this lens is outstanding. The next tip we want to work on here is you want to make sure that you turn the OIS off when you put this camera on a tripod, just like this. You want to make sure your OIS is off and everything will work great. So what we're trying to show in this shot is we're trying to show compression, we're trying to show layers, and we're trying to make sure that we've got something of interest here. And what I'm doing with the compression part of it is I'm making sure that my f-stop is high so everything's in focus. What I'm going to do later in the next shot is I'm going to try and make sure that I've got just the boat in the foreground in focus and not the rest of it, which is going to give me some compression, but it's going to separate that subject in the foreground. All right, so here we go. Let's see if we can make this shot work. So I'm shooting this shot at f16, at 125 at 200 ISO. I've taken a bunch of shots here because I want to get the birds. The seagulls are flying all over the place because we've got a lobster boat that's tied up to the motif over here, and he must be putting the bait out or something because we've got a bunch of birds flying around. And right now I'm going to we're going back to the same scene that I came over here for this morning. Got some beautiful clouds here, by the way. This is kind of nice. We're going to emphasize the foreground in this particular shot. And of course, it's the same as it was this morning, but the light isn't as dramatic, although the clouds are pretty dramatic. I'm going to try and include the clouds in one of these too, but this is going to add to layering. I'm going to try and layer the photograph. I might move to another location a little bit down the dock here, but wow, some great clouds. I don't know if I can get it wide enough. We'll see. So here we go. Okay, we moved to another location, trying to get the layers going on to the motif and get the clouds in the background. See if I can show you what I mean. So I backed up a little bit, so it's looking a lot better. Boy, the clouds are gorgeous. Look at those clouds, really something. Got some nice reflection down here in the water. It's really, really something. See if I can move it around a little bit more. Like I said, beautiful layering. And I think that I would, for this shot, try and get as much of it in focus as I can. On the waterfront, you really have to act quick, and I'll tell you, that's what this, oops. There's a guy out here that just rowed out to pull his lobsters out of a holding tank that was in the water. Kind of cool. Excuse me. We have the perfect opportunity here to show the composing with this lens. What I've done is I've made sure that the boats lead you right out to that motif. As you can see right here, leads you right out to the motif and that little wreath going on right there. And this is a 16:9 crop here, which is not the way it is. I'm shooting at 3:2 with my stills. So it's a great opportunity. Look at the clouds up there like this. Is just absolutely beautiful. Let's make a shot of this. We're gonna open up these shadows down here. It'll be great. All right, I'm shooting here at 1/25 at 7.1. Absolutely beautiful. So which one of those images do you like the best? The color one or the black and white one? Let me know in the comments below. What I've done here is now I'm shooting at a 50th at f11, trying to get everything in focus if I can, or most of it. I might even go down to f16. It's pretty tricky. But as you can see, what an incredible reflection right here. Don't worry, the top of the motif's not going to get cut off. So I'm pretty sure at f16 we got everything in focus. I don't think there's going to be any diffraction to speak of with this lens. So that's pretty good. I really like the way this is turning out. The clouds really made a huge difference. Shot a vertical and a horizontal, and boy, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, one of the big benefits of shooting with this lens is, since it's a telephoto zoom, you can isolate the scene. And I really enjoy doing that. It's in woodland photography, it's very beneficial. Down here on the waterfront, I'm trying to zoom in on just one boat, the stern of one boat, and I really enjoy that. So I'm going to show you what it looks like right here. You can see zoomed in like this, it's really kind of special. We got a really, really nice reflection going on here underneath the windy sign here. So let's see. I'm shooting this wide open at 4.8, and the reason for that is because I'm trying to isolate this scene. I don't want a lot going on in the background. Well, that's it for this week, working on tips for this 55-200. It's a great lens, and I carry it around with me in my bag everywhere just because it's so small and light compared to the 50-140. which is a beast of a lens, but it's exquisite. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a great lens, but this lens here, for my purposes, around town and everything, it's great. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff, and leave me a comment. That would be awesome. And by the way, if you get a chance, go to capeandphototours.com and check out my workshops. We've got a great workshop, the Maine coast, looking at the main lighthouses along the coast. Got 8 or 9 of them to show you, and we're going to do that with Bill Fortney. He's a Fuji X photographer and a great guy, and a lot of people know him. I think you get a kick out of that. And we've got a bunch of other workshops that are going on in the spring and the fall, so please check them out. And that's it for this week, and we'll catch you next time.